Hey guys, my name is Pam Peebles, and welcome to our very first Skinny Body Care Millionaires Chat. I'm just really excited because I have the pleasure of introducing and interviewing and hanging out and chatting with two of the coolest people, the most awesome people, the millionaires, Tim Miller and Jackie Stewart. And what's really cool about this is the first time ever that they've done this. So when I say it's an honor, it's a pleasure, and all of those other cool words, it really is. And what's more, I guess I'm getting my words all mixed up, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. But I asked Tim what were we going to talk about, what questions could I ask, and here was his response. Keep it real, keep it honest, and I couldn't come up with any questions in advance. Now, if you guys have been on these Hangouts before, you know I always have questions, I always have it planned out. So this is going to be completely off the cuff. They just wanted to be able to talk to you guys, be able to answer questions, be able to just give you guys their heart. So this is going to be really fun, especially for me. So if you guys see me get tongue-tied, just pray for me. So I'm just going to start out by asking any question that comes to my head. And this is just going to be a lot of fun because they're just going to really share a lot of themselves. So, Jackie, don't kill me later. If you want to kill anybody, go after Tim.
He's on my list.
Okay. So I'm going to start. Let's start with Tim. Tim, I know when I got this, I was like, okay, we're going to do a millionaires chat. What was the thought behind this whole process of let's get together and the millionaires chat, you and Jackie?
Well, I was sitting here the last few days, and I was looking at the numbers, and everything's is moving and rocking right now, and I just thought that people may not believe or understand what they have their hands on, and I reached out to you, I reached out to Jackie, and say, hey, let's just jump on one of these Hangouts and just talk to everybody about really why this company and how it has literally changed our lives, and why it's the same opportunity for everyone out there, and just give it to everybody real. Let them hear from us of really who we are, where we come from, and how we got where we are, and so many others are right here with us. And Jackie's just awesome. The #1 earner in the company is actually Jackie. And and I said, and we've never done a call or a conference together. And I said, why not? We're going into September, which is probably going to be the biggest month we've had all year. I could tell because of the growth we've had in the last 2 weeks, and this company has been mind-boggling. And that's why we're here.
So, Jackie, what was your immediate thoughts? Like, were you thinking, is this guy crazy? Or were you thinking, woohoo, let's do a hangout at 10 o'clock at night and talk about how phenomenal this company is?
It was more like woohoo, because anybody who knows me knows that I love to talk, and especially about something that I'm so passionate about. And when I get started, it's hard to shut me up, so we could be here till morning.
That's like totally okay with me because I just had coffee.
Yeah.
So that's like totally. So let me ask you, because how long have you've been with the company since the beginning, correct?
No. My sister Judy has been in with the company since the beginning, and I watched Judy for about 4.5 months. I wasn't interested in MLM. It's a big turnoff to me. Never have been. Had so many people approach me to sell products and direct marketing, and I just was not. I just wasn't interested. I didn't want to go talk to people and try to sell them stuff. What I have a passion in, though, is the weight loss industry. I owned a nutrition store for about 8 years and managed for about 12 other years. But just seeing people's lives change, their health change. When you change your health, you change your life. And that's what got me interested. And it took 4.5 months. I kind of watched Judy posting and thought, oh, I'm not going to get involved in this. And by May, close to 5 months, I finally reached out to her. I said, okay, I'll try it. And I tried it, and within a day or two, the bloating that I'd suffered from, I guess it's a menopausal side effect, I don't know, but that went away, and I'd suffered for a year with that. And my IBS, nothing helped my IBS, and I decided right then and there that I don't care if I ever lose a pound, because for like 13 years was stuck no matter what I did because of menopause and thyroid disease. So I decided, though, if I didn't lose a pound, it didn't matter to me. I felt good. And within probably 6 weeks, I noticed my pants were loose. I mean, it's been a slow loss, and I'm still trying. I've added some workouts now because I do feel good. And when you don't feel good, you don't feel like moving. So now that I'm feeling better, I'm adding activity. But I decided I'm going to sell it. I mean, I want to get involved in it. So I got involved in the company, and I worked it as a business for the first 9 months, and I stunk at it. I just have to tell you, people who get in and they're trying to push the business, trying to get people to join them. That wasn't me, so I didn't do well at it. And if you don't enjoy what you're doing, you're not going to succeed at it. And what happened for me was I changed my entire focus. When I decided I could care less if anybody ever joins me, I just want people to try Skinny Fiber. When you have passion for something and you believe in something, nothing can stop you. So I started sharing Skinny Fiber, and I changed the way I thought. Like, so many people think of selling a product or signing distributors up. I took that completely out of my mind, and I changed it to, I want to share something that's changed my life. And that one difference from selling to sharing changed it all for me. And there's different ways to do this. I'm not going to say that this way is the right way, but I know for me, what I've realized is you have to have a passion for what you're doing, or you might as well quit doing it. And there came a point where Judy and I, in November of 2011, we were like, I'm not going to try to do this anymore. We just almost gave up. We weren't going to stop taking Skinny Fiber. We were going to stay distributors, but we weren't going to push it. But something changed, and that was just my thoughts. And when you change your thoughts, you can change your world. And that's what happened to me. And the biggest advice I can give to anyone is you have to learn to love what you do. Don't worry about the sales. Don't worry about, I know that some people need to have sales to be able to afford this, but think about it. When you have a job, you're spending way more than $2 a day in gas to get back and forth to that job. And that one bottle a month, if it's changing your life, you're going to do what you can to get that bottle. And that's the only requirement. And hi, Tam, I see your face now. I started talking a lot more like I usually do. But the biggest thing is enjoy what you do, believe in what you do, because if you believe in it, then you're going to have the passion for it. And when you have passion for something, nothing's going to stop you from getting what you need. And when I realized that I could share a product without actually building a business, that's when I caught on fire, because business is not my passion. People are my passion, and that's what changed everything. And I always tell people I feel guilty earning the money I do for doing something that I love doing so much, and I would do for free, and I have done it for free. There were months I didn't have money to pay my auto ship, but I found a way to pay it. And just believe in yourself, believe in what you do. And if this isn't what you believe in, I hate to say it, it's not for you. But if this is what you believe in, every person will succeed as long as they don't give up. And I totally believe that. It might not be your time now, but your time's coming if you just keep following your passion and don't let anybody stop you, especially yourself, because that's what I see a lot of.
Well, I can tell you your energy is contagious, for real. It seriously is. I'm over here like smiling. But I think probably more than anything, hopefully what you guys got from that whole thing, if you missed it, was when she said she did it for 9 months, because that piggybacks off of the Millionaire mentoring session we had with John last week or on Thursday, where we talked about how people are so quick to quit. And for 9 months, she watched her sister do it for 4.5 months. Then for 9 months, she just stunk at it. And the company has only been around for 3.5 years. So we're talking over a year that you pretty much didn't do anything, and you're the #1 income earner. So I just wanted to kind of point that out, that you just kind of failed miserably for a year, and you're #1 income earner. So I don't know, folks. I'm just saying, you guys got to pay attention. If you're very passionate about something, this is what can turn out for you. I got to turn my passion up a notch, about 10. So I can end up being the #1, #2, number 3, 1, 2, 3.
I say I want somebody to pass me up.
Well, you know what? I'm talking about like next month, so I got a little ways to go, so I got to work on that. So,
Anything's possible.
you know what? Nothing's impossible, that's for sure. But I can definitely see your passion in it, and that makes a whole lot of sense when you change your perspective of how you're looking at things.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
It's
that's
changed
how.
my life. I mean, just it's all like a big circle too. It's helped to build my confidence. And the more confidence you have, the more you're able to just talk to people. I will talk to people on the streets now. When I first started, I was embarrassed posting on Facebook, kind of, because, I knew how I felt when people approached me. So, but when I saw how it changed my life, my health, my dad, 86 years old, and his diabetes is under control. He lost 40 pounds, and he rides a Harley. My mom's cholesterol down like 80 points in 2 months. I mean, this is something that we need to share with people. And if you keep it a secret and you're not telling people, I mean, I think that's wrong. Just wrong.
I agree 1,000%. So I have a question for you. Was it ever in your thoughts? Did it ever cross your mind that all of this would happen?
Not at all, ever in a million years. Never. I mean, I knew that I would, I can't say that I don't think that I made that my goal. So I never really thought about it. It was just like I take each day, and that's another thing that people need to realize. Don't look at what you're going to make next week, or next month, or next year. What are you doing today that is helping you to get further along for tomorrow? And I think that's how I've always been. I just look at what's going on today, focus on that, and everything takes care of itself. Too many people want to figure out, well, I'm not making any money this week, and I give up, it's not worth it to me. Well, that's one reason you're not making any money this week, because you're worrying about the money. Put people first, focus on changing people's lives. The money comes eventually. If you don't, the only people who don't succeed are the ones who quit. Honestly and truly. And I've got one of my distributors who had made it to platinum. She had a post that went viral. Her support group grew like crazy. She made it to platinum in a really short time. Well, then Facebook's changes came along, and she lost the people didn't see her postings in her group. Some of her followers weren't seeing her wall, and she didn't give up, though. And I don't know how many months later, 6 months later, she's #1 on the leaderboard again. I mean, and like I told her today, I said, just like I always say, the only people who fail are the ones who quit. And if you continue, what I also tell people, in the times that it's slow for you, that's the most important time to focus. So many people think, oh, I got to work when it's busy. No. The harder you work when it's slow will determine how high you go when the sales come back up. And I have a long background in retail sales. And I'm sorry about the dog, but people who are in retail know that it's ups and downs, peaks and valleys. But what you do when you're down in that valley is going to determine how high you peak. Not how hard you work when the sales are there. It's how hard you're working when there are no sales. And when I say work, I just use that word because I don't consider it work, because it's something that I feel in my heart that I was created to do, and it's helping people. And when you have that passion to help your fellow man, to do something for someone else, eventually it's all going to come back to you. I mean, what you put out into the universe, it's like a boomerang. What you put out there is going to come back and hit you in the head like it did me.
Yeah.
I have a hard head.
I like the boomerang. That's
It's
like,
true.
well, it really is true. And the thing is I think I always tell people, when your goal is to help people and your goal is to be unselfish, you get more back than you ever anticipated. People have to stop focusing on seeing everybody as a dollar sign and seeing it as helping.
Take the focus off of you.
Yeah.
Take the focus off of you and put it on to making a difference in other people's lives, because your life can't help but change if you do that. And I've always been that type of person, want to save the world. Well, now I found a way to do it, and I just feel like this was meant to be. And just let me know if I talk too much, because I do get a little bit excited, and I do see so much potential in so many people who join. but their discouragement is what slows them down. And if you believe in your heart that you're in the right place and doing the right thing, you're wasting your time if you worry. You're wasting your time if you get discouraged, because it's going to take care of itself. And the people who are chasing the money, they're going to be running and running and running, because you need to chase the people. And I don't mean chase them, run them down, and hit them in the head with a bottle of skinny fiber. But and also, I mean, just tell me when I need to stop. But the one thing I wanted to tell people is be a product of the product, be an example, and let people come to you. Because the one thing, when I first started getting the sales that I was getting in January 2012, people asked me what I was doing. Well, I stopped trying to get people to sign up as distributors. I focused on sharing the product, and I realized then and there that just in my own life, the best distributor is going to be a happy customer. So those are the ones who stick, the ones whose lives have changed, whose health has changed because of this product. That's what gives them the passion. It's changed their life, so they want to help other people. So, and what happened, because I stopped trying to get distributors, I ended up with like over 6,000 in my downline. It's because I stopped focusing on it. And there's truth to that. When you stop focusing on one thing and focus on the other aspects of what you're doing, it's going to eventually come to you. And it's totally true. The best distributor that you're ever going to have is the happiest customer you got. So focus on getting customers and talking about the awesomeness of skinny fiber, and then let them know later on, hey, I see you're doing well. I'm so happy for you. 10 more bucks and you can actually earn an income. Let's let Tim talk.
Well, we're enjoying you talk. But Tim, I do want to ask the question to you. I mean, with everything that's going on, because I know you're the second income earner, the largest income earner in skinny body care. Was this ever your plan? I know that you've been in the business, in the industry overall, so this is not your first rodeo, but was this ever your plan for all of this to happen? Or kind of give me your feedback on what do you think about all this?
No, to answer your question, absolutely not. I was the #1 earner in my previous company, which was a travel company, and I built that up to a 6-figure income, and that's really all I ever wanted to make in the industry. When I joined the industry, my goal was literally to make $1,000 a week, $52,000 a year. That was it. Then I had the experience of working with some top-notch people, mentors that mentored me that were multi-millionaires, and I've always said I wanted to be a millionaire, but I don't even know if I believed I wanted to be, or what it would be like, or how different it would be. You know, we always have these big goals in our head all of our lives, but really that was never the case. And I was comfortable in my previous company. Life was good, and lo and behold, I joined Skinny Body Care, and I followed the same techniques that I've used for years in the industry that worked for me in my previous company. But it was this compensation plan that kind of did its own thing that Ben even laughs. He said, Tim, for the first 6 months, you didn't even understand the comp plan, which I really thought I did, but there were a few things I didn't understand, and with some enhancements that were made in the first 6 months. I mean, you guys literally aren't where we were when I joined. I mean, when I joined, you could only sell one bottle. We didn't have the buy 2, get 1 free, or the buy 3, get 3 free. And, man, the money started coming, and I would look at my checks each week and be in awe. I'd almost get nervous. So I've never seen that kind of income. And it wasn't nothing to brag about or get suit, but it was weird because, it was a good thing. And I tell all you guys, man, this Skinny Body Care, if you ever get a chance, listen to John Gallardi really break down how this compensation plan works. And understand it takes time to develop a mature organization. But when it happens, hands down, when you start understanding those codes, it gets crazy. And I warn everybody, you've heard me for 2 years, 3 years now. Guys, all I can tell you is work it, but when it starts to take off for you, put some back. Save your money. Don't be like a lot of these people on Facebook that are lying and showing cash and renting cars and all that foolishness. That's not what life is about. I mean, I literally watched Jackie and her sister. I mean, they've been able to They are making great money. I mean, crazy money in some to some people, but we're able to do not only buy their homes, dang near pay cash for them in Las Vegas, Nevada, where they actually moved to. But she was just talking. It was funny. She was just talking about her dad. And if any of you all get a chance, watch the video on YouTube of Jackie and her sister actually bought their dad that Harley Davidson. And it was totally awesome. And that's what it becomes. It kind of makes you a more responsible person. It kind of makes you a better giver. Money's not going to change your life. It's just going to enhance what it does for you. But to answer your question, no, I did not expect this at all. And I'm enjoying every minute of it. But it's so good to see you guys do it. To see stories of people like Courtney Looper, Heather Johnson. When you see these people that literally had nothing, I mean, when I said had nothing, I'm not even talking about money. I'm talking had no emotions. Their life was just broken. And this company has changed their life. Yes, the finances are good, but just the power of just seeing the change in people, kind of piggybacking on what Jackie said, that's the power in this. It's helping people and helping people make a difference in their lives and teach them to go out. If you can just go out there and touch lives, you can have it all here with this company.
Yeah, I think, I always tell people it's more than the money. And I think from people hearing you guys and hearing your passion, that's one of the things that hopefully they'll get and really understand. And some people might see it and say, oh yeah, well they're the $1 million earner, so of course it's easy to say that. But I mean, Jackie I haven't talked to as much, but in talking to her the few times I have, I can tell her heart. You can tell a person's heart when you talk to them. And you can tell her heart, and you can tell that it's not about the money for her. And with Tim's such a given person that you can definitely tell it's not about the money. When you see people who really care about helping other people succeed and wanting other people to have the money just like them, who want people to be at that same level of success financially, that's when you know who they really are and what they're really about. I mean, that's when you can really tell, because trust me, I've been around some people who have the type of money that these two make, and they just want to keep it all to themselves. They're more concerned about their pockets and their pocketbooks and no one else. So I can assure you that it's not just about the money. It's about caring for others, making sure that others are taken care of. And I can certainly see why you guys have been able to build these large teams and why everyone's on the page saying how much they love you and they talk about you guys so much. So, Tim, I want to ask you another question. When you came over to this company, I know you came from another industry, and I know weight loss wasn't something that you necessarily really needed to do. And so I know in you telling your story before, you made it very clear that, you were getting into the business for the business. But now when you talk to people, that passion has really changed. Tell me how that all switched for you.
It really happened from seeing the results. I've always been, I'm into a lot of news. I grew up around politics all my life, so my TV stays on with constant 24-hour news. Even though it's in the background, I'm always here working on my computer. But I've seen and heard all the problems with people that have weight issues. And I've never been overweight. And so I didn't realize the emotional pain that's attached to it and how big the market was for it. But it's kind of funny, when I joined, I could have cared less about that pink bottle. It made no sense to me. And weight loss, I didn't believe it. I mean, I'm like, okay, if there's really something that can help people lose weight, it's going to be huge in billions of dollars. Because there are a lot of companies out here in this industry that do it, even though that's where all the money is. But a friend of mine, Billy Brown, from where I moved here from Jackson, Mississippi, we've been friends for probably 22, 23 years. We used to sell cars together. That's how long we've been friends. And he joined the program, and I went to Jackson a few months after being in the business to do a meeting for them, and Billy had lost a ton of weight. And he would tell me, Tim, this product really works, but when you see it with your own eyes. And then we set up these support groups, and these people would post these before and after pictures. And it's kind of mind-boggling. And when you start listening to people, I'm a listener and I'm a people person just by design. But when I started hearing and seeing the emotional changes in people, if that makes sense, not the weight loss. You know, everybody can lose weight. I'm seeing stuff on the internet now, lose 5 pounds in 5 days and all this. It's not about that, okay? But when you see people that, and I've never experienced it, so I don't understand it, but now I understand it more, but I was never that person that had to deal with it. But when you meet somebody whose emotional life has changed, when you see people tell you this product works and they're crying, when they're sending you emails thanking you, you saved my life, or you saved my husband's life, and it's real, it's not all on Facebook, it's hidden, they're telling you in private, and they're telling you, I'm SBC Fly, I'll never stop taking this product, even if the company, I'm never going to stop taking this product. But when you start hearing that you really help somebody, I'm not talking somebody who says, ooh, I made $1,000 this week, that's great. When you talk to somebody who's been struggling overweight their entire life, if you follow Courtney and just watch the little things of being able to get in her car and her knees aren't touching the steering wheel, or being able to walk a block without, you know, having to stop and can breathe, or not afraid to go to sleep at night, thinking you may die in your sleep because of this sleep apnea because of the weight. Man, that stuff touches you. And it puts you in a perspective of when you're talking to people about it now, you know, hold on, I've got some here that can change your life, but it's kind of hard sometimes because you don't want to interfere with somebody because you know they're overweight. And nobody's walking around with a T-shirt saying, I'm overweight, I want to lose weight. That emotional, the emotions they're going through, they aren't wearing around on their sleeve. So you have to find a way. But now I found myself talking a lot more about the product. Even reps I bring in, I'm telling them, take the product. And it has other benefits outside of weight loss. I take the product. I suffer with something, I'll go ahead and tell you, I don't have any secrets here. I suffer with something called gout, okay? It's where you get, it's acid forms on your foot and in certain parts of your body. And when I stopped taking that skinny, somebody kept telling me to take the skinny body, it'll help you with that gout. I'm like, yeah, whatever, you know, right. When I started taking that, I don't have the outbreaks. Haven't had one. It worked, and there's several people, because of my testimony, they're now taking it and thanking me because of that. Because if you know anybody suffers with gout, it's no joke when it hits. And it's other things. You know, we can't make medical claims. You just heard Jackie talk about diabetes. Diabetes is huge out here, guys. And that glucomannan does something to blood sugar levels that's unreal. We can't go out there and just say it because, why? We're not what do you call it, a nutritional, we're a supplement. We're not a, what's the word I'm looking for? We're not a medicine.
Medicine.
So we can't make medical claims. But, I mean, Jackie said it best, and I turn it back to you. I'm going to say it in a harsher way. If you aren't sharing this with people you know that are overweight, have diabetes, are suffering from an illness you know that this product can help them with, you're being selfish and full of pride. And I really believe it in my heart. You need to share this with everybody, whether they accept it or not. At least you shared it with them. And when you get that passion in your heart, you'll be the #1 earner like Jackie. Because I remember she was anti-rep distributor, but she built a support group, and all she wanted to talk to people about was weight loss, and she would sit in there all day helping them. All of a sudden, these people started joining as reps, paying the $10. Next thing I know, I'm looking in the back office, and I'm calling Ben like, hey, Ben, who is this Jackie Stewart? Who is that woman? They are going nuts. And it's just been history ever since.
That brings like a very good question to ask Jackie. So, Jackie, what the heck were you saying to them? I mean, because someone on your team was inboxing me. I'm not going to reveal their name, but they said Jackie's got over 7,000 people on her team. So how did you go from I'm not going to build a business to having 7,000 people on your team when you weren't even trying to build a team? Because, go ahead, Tim.
Hey, Pam, I just want to say something to everybody that's watching this, or anybody that watches in the future. You just said something. I'm going to prove a point here as you turn it over to Jackie. I've been in network marketing 23, 24 years. Show me a company. Now, we're not going to discuss Jackie's income, but we know she's a millionaire, right?
Right.
How many reps did you say she has?
7,000.
Okay, what company on planet Earth in MLM can you build a team on a $59 product price point of only 7,000 people and make that kind of income? That is bigger than you guys. Ben tries to explain that. The teams you have to build in other companies to get to that income level is out of control. But with a team of 7,000 reps, and the reason is it's not 7,000 reps, but that customer base can make you that kind of income. It's unbelievable.
Well, I can't answer that question. So as you know, I'm still new to the industry, and I'm still learning, which is why I always have notepad every time I do hangouts with you guys. I'm always taking tons of notes, and I always go back and I have to watch them because I'm so into my present with talking to you guys that I can't fully take in what you're saying. So I have to go back and watch, and I jot down little quick things, or I'll jot down the moment you say it so I know when I want to get that moment. But I need to know that too, so I'm going to have to ask John that one. Jackie, someone just sent me that. So first of all, is that number pretty accurate, I guess?
Well, right now in my team group, we have 6,542 distributors.
Okay.
Most of the time, we try to keep up with those who are active and then remove them when they're not active. So I'm saying 6,500 right now. Don't know that all 100% are active, but probably at least 3/4 of those are active. And I think that the team they stem from kind of where I came from, because we all started with support groups and we all found each other. Most of the people on my team are not network marketers. They've never done it. They started selling it because it helped them, and this is their first experience. I know Heather Johnson didn't even know what MLM was. Courtney's never been in MLM. Devaney, who's my first one. Let me even break this down. People think you have to have a lot of distributors. Those aren't all my distributors. They're my downline distributors. I probably have 3 left of my first 100 distributors. You don't have to have a lot of distributors. And when I realized, like Tim said, he didn't understand the pay plan for a long time, I still don't understand it. I'm not ashamed to say it because I don't care about it. I don't. I have no clue. I know a little bit about it, but if somebody on my team comes and asks me a question about the pay plan, I always say, ask Judy. Judy knows it inside and out.
Can I jump in real quick? Because I like to point this part out, because this always comes up because everyone always thinks that Tim, yourself, that you guys are like these monster recruiters, that you've recruited everyone in the whole United States. And I just heard you say that it was 100 people. You originally recruited 100 reps signed up, and that 3 of them are still, your original 3 are with you. So is that what I heard?
I'm making an estimate. I need to go and look, but I would say out of the first 100, I may have 3 left.
It didn't have to be 100. We're not looking. If you're off by, maybe it's 4 or maybe
it could be 4.
I think the point I'm really trying to make is that you're the #1 income earner, and that you have 4 people left. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I cut you off. Please go.
Yeah. Well, I still have, of my first 100. I have a few others, but I don't have a large team. I think I might have 50 distributors. That's all I have, personal distributors.
Wow.
And but I think of my first 100, there's only 3 or 4 left of those. So you don't have to have a strong team. And like, I wanted to go back to how I didn't understand the pay plan, and Judy would try to explain it to me, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. I make the same off a distributor as a customer as I do a distributor when I sell the skinny fiber, and that's all I care about is getting skinny fiber into people's hands. And but then when I started seeing, like, as people will come to me, this is the other thing that I don't think is normal in MLM. People will come to me and ask me if they could join. I had that all the time. And, of course, I said, yeah, and I explained how. But after a few months, probably, I would say 4 or 5 months, and I started seeing my monthly paycheck was way more than my weekly paychecks. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense, but it has to be what Judy was talking about, that I just plugged my ears and she would get so irritated because I didn't want to know. And I saw that I was making more money from what the team was doing than what I was doing, my own efforts. And that's when I focused. I started my the team group, and I started doing all I can to share everything that I could that got me where I was. So I started focusing more on those below me and their sales. And I started posting in their groups for them. I started posting on their wall for them. And that's the biggest thing. When you get a few people under you, you need to do all you can to get them up, because the higher you raise them up, the higher you're going to go. I didn't do this on my own. I have to thank my sister Judy, who's the brains of this operation. Judy and I are Tim's downline. And I guess a lot of people don't understand how we're related, Tim. So I'll just explain it. Tim is mine and Judy's upline, and then we have Judy and then me. Judy helped me when it came to the technical part, the back office stuff, the pay and that sort of thing, because I didn't want anything to do with it. I mean, I had no desire to learn it. I just wanted to share skinny fiber. But and what had happened, it just, the passion to see other people. I'll tell you the story that changed me when I stopped, when I added, my focus was to help people with weight loss, but what changed for me, and I started focusing on the people that signed up, no matter where they are below me. I mean, I don't even know who I get paid on out of that 6,000 people. A lot of people think that I do. I have no clue where it stops. I don't know. I mean, probably 8 levels down, I might only make $1 off of each person. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I don't see people as a dollar sign. I see them as my business partner, a teammate who's fighting the same battle I am, and that's the battle of weight loss. But what really changed that focus to helping those in my downline even more was seeing Amanda Kemp's story. And this little girl, she just like came from nowhere, and she had that passion to help people, and she reached the top of the leaderboard within her first 2 weeks. And I got to know her better and hear her story. She started out doing this on a phone, and she didn't even have a car of her own. She had to borrow her mom's car to get back and forth to the grocery store with her kids. They were living on $200 a week, and probably within 3 months, 4 months, she was able to move from an apartment to a car. And in less than a year, she was able to get her husband off the road. He was over the road truck driver. And just seeing the change in her life, and these Kayla Beal coming off of public assistance, and then Courtney, and Heather Johnson and what she's been able to accomplish. Just seeing that, it fuels me even more, and it motivates me more to do all I can to see other people have a life change like that. And you know, that's where it's about the money for me. It's not about the money that I'm getting, but it's about the money that these people are getting that's changing their lives. And you know, there's nothing wrong with wanting to earn money. That's fine. That's just not where my passion is. That's not what I focus on. And you know, the money could stop for me today. I don't care. I'll find a way. I've worked every type of job there is, and I don't mind working. Working don't hurt me. But I do love what I do. I love sharing as much as I can the weight loss aspects, and I do absolutely love sharing any tip that I can share that might make it easier for someone else. But the biggest thing, and the number one thing that I can't stress enough, I mean, Tim and I come from different backgrounds, but we're on the same mission. He's done it a little bit of a different way. I'm sorry about the dog. I can't really talk about it. But Tim has come, I mean, he came because of the pay plan, which is awesome, I guess. That's what they say. I don't understand it. But he had followers because that was his 23-year career. And so he had the followers. He didn't have the product. We're doing it backwards. I didn't have any followers. I might have had 2 friends. I mean, but I had a product. We're doing the same thing, but in different ways. And we're all in this together, and there's so many different ways to do it. So if anything I mean, I've learned so much from Tim. One thing I learned, not to be so sensitive, but I've learned a lot, you know, with him, not to be scared, not to be ashamed. I mean, to speak up and to tell people what I have. And I hope that there's things that I can share that's going to help teach, you know, somebody else. I want more than anything. I hate when I do this every time I talk to people, but you know, people know that I didn't come from money. And Judy and I, we lived in North Carolina, and it was hard. I mean, there was a time where we didn't have a home, and we slept on people's couches when they let us. And thank God Judy babysat now and then, because we had trouble finding jobs. I mean, she babysat now and then, and I did too, but we'd have money to buy a pack of a loaf of bread, and I just had a big purse, and I had to steal our lunch meat so we had food. So, I mean, I'm embarrassed to say this. I'm ashamed of that, but hopefully God sees that I've given back, you know, to make up for what I did. Desperate times, you do desperate things. But, I mean, if you believe in what you do and you believe in yourself, I mean, the one thing, it's not enough to believe in what you're doing. You have to believe in you, because if you don't believe in you, people know that. They can tell. They can sense that you don't have that confidence. But if you believe in you, then other people are soon going to believe. And, I mean, don't give up. I have people that asked me about Skinny Fiber back in January of 2011, 2 of them last week, who messaged me and signed up as distributors. And tell everybody, don't expect them to sign up today. Just tell them. Eventually, they're going to think about weight loss, and who are they going to think about? They're going to think about you, because you've got that product and you've done well with it. But one thing I tell people all the time, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So Colonel Sanders asked, like, I don't know, 1,000 people. He took his recipe to 1,000 restaurants, and finally somebody said no, and I think he did pretty good for himself.
Yeah.
Somebody said yes. My husband just told me somebody did say yes. See, I need an assistant just to help me speak.
Well, the thing is that it's the persistence and it's the consistency. So it's being persistent, it's being consistent, and I
believe in it. You have to believe in it. I mean, if you don't believe that Skinny Fiber is the most awesome product in the whole wide world, you're not going to believe, you're not going to be persistent, and you're not going to be consistent. It's personal development, like James always talks about personal development, and work on you. If your sales are slowing down and you don't know what it is, go back to the basics. Are you doing what you did when you first started? Are you taking care of you? Are you, I mean, we're examples. We're coaches. If we're not taking care of our health, how can we share that with somebody else?
That's 100% true. We were talking about that today on a different subject, though, but your reflection, you attract what you are. So if you're not the product, like when I first started with the program, I immediately got on the product, and my first 90 days lost 28 pounds. Getting ready to start my next 90 days. Of course, we went to Vegas, got married, and all that stuff. So went through that little couple weeks honeymoon period, and so I didn't stay on my program like I wanted to, gained a couple pounds from just eating in Vegas and whooping it up for being married. So
you can get back to it and get it off. It's the same with business. Business and weight loss are so much the same.
Yeah, but you know what? That first 90 days, what I did was I invited people to take the journey with me. So how can you tell someone that a product works if you're not taking it? How can you tell someone that it can change their life if it's not changing yours? So
right.
I agree with you. So Tim, question for you. I just had a couple people post on the page and say, a couple people mentioned the skinny fiber is definitely working for them for gout, working for them for arthritis. Have you started another movement that you didn't even realize? What do you think is causing all of this?
Well, it's hard to tell people you deal with that. People that
I know that was like a
yeah, I can't.
You came clean. Well, what is it? I mean, since you kind of brought that up, what is it that's causing? I mean, I know it's not a medicine, so we can't make any health claims. But one of the things I was telling people, I've had a lot of different things that's been happening with my body lately. Haven't been, having some of the breakouts. Haven't been having some of the food cravings. I've had other people that's been telling me some different things happen with them, cholesterol, diabetes, high blood pressure. So if you can just briefly elaborate, what are some of the things that are changing people's bodies and that's causing like the inflammation? Because gout is like a form of arthritis, correct? Is it similar to a form of arthritis?
It's where the uric acid builds up on your limbs,
Mm-hmm.
and it's extremely painful. Most people get it in their foot. They call it it's from eating too much stuff that's red, anything red meats, but there's really no cure for it. They tested some new things, but it's a very, very painful. I mean, it will shut you down. And I don't know why it works, but we had a rep tell me it was working for them. And I'm like, yeah, right, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get on it, I have no problems. I have no outbreaks. If I stop taking that skinny fiber and I get to fooling around eating red meats, which I do love a good steak I eat too much of it, but or any shellfish, that stuff will ramp up, and I can feel when it's coming on. I just start taking that skinny fiber again. Another thing it's doing for people, we couldn't figure out why. Have any of you noticed that your nails and your hair grows like crazy when you're taking this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed that, Pam?
Yes.
And we tried to figure out, and I did some research on it. What it is, I didn't realize your nails and your hair are basically toxins and waste coming out your body.
Yeah.
And that's the way it comes out. And the skinny fiber, when it's cleaning, detoxing you and cleaning your system, it's flushing all that bad stuff out of your body. And that's why, because we couldn't figure it out. Because when I taking it, I'm always clipping my nails, and y'all know I have gel on my hair right now because it's probably about this high. I don't cut it unless I'm leaving town. But yeah, it's another benefit to taking this product. People suffer with their nails or their hair growth. I'm not putting that out there, but I'm guaranteed you'll hear stories about it in this company.
That's the digestive enzymes. Yeah.
Well, for women, that's a benefit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
Jackie
digestive enzymes.
Was it Jackie?
The digestive enzyme blend. Now, a lot of doctors will actually recommend the digestive enzymes when, well, for most of us, because the food that we eat these days, it doesn't have the vitamins and the nutrients that it used to. Plus, we eat junk. So most every disease can be traced back to some type of mineral or vitamin deficiency. When we take skinny fiber with the enzymes in it, and there's clinical studies on that, the enzymes help us to digest our food and absorb our vitamins better. And that's why we see so many odd things, like my fibro. I don't have to take pain pills anymore. Women and their cycles, it helps to normalize the cycles because we're actually absorbing those nutrients. I'm not saying it's because of the skinny fiber, but it's the enzymes in the skinny fiber. Because I know you could just take digestive enzymes, and that's why I supplement with the uric acid. That's when I worked had my nutrition store. I mean, I read nutrition books like a person would read a Nicholas Sparks novel. You know, the newest book, I would read it. And so I tried to educate myself as much as I could on the alternative treatments. Digestive enzymes are what help us to absorb those nutrients that we don't normally. I don't even take vitamins anymore. I don't have to. I don't get tired. I mean, I'm just totally healthy. My husband, who is pretty thin, I mean, I think he's a little bit underweight. He needs to gain some weight. He takes skinny fiber between his meals, not before meals, but he takes it because of all the health benefits. He used to drink Metamucil every day. Now he takes skinny fiber every day. And it's so funny to hear him tell people about it. He gets a little bit confused, but he loves it. I'm sorry to talk so much, Tim, but you know.
Oh, you're fine.
You know me. Yeah, but the nails and the hair, it's crazy.
Yeah, and I would happen to agree. I've been growing my hair, and lately it's just been growing crazy. I actually put it up in a ponytail today because it was like all over my head earlier, and I was like, this is not cute. But I want to talk a little bit about the business because I think let me first say that I haven't been in the multi-level marketing industry for even 3.5 years. I've only been in for 2 years. But what I think I've found the most fascinating about skinny body care is the number of people who are having extraordinary success in this industry. I mean, it's not just one person. I mean, it's not like your story, Jack. It's not a fluke. I mean, it's okay. Well, there's not multiple millionaires yet, but there are several that are just literally a few steps behind you.
In the making.
Yeah, I mean, and when you're talking about a 3.5 year span for a brand new company that doesn't have 15 million products, it's really unheard of. And when you start looking at some of the other companies, a lot of these people have been in these companies forever. I mean, they've raised their kids through these companies, and they're still, just making $4 or $5 grand a month. So I'm not. Well, let me say this. Both Jackie and Tim are Crown Diamonds. The only two Crown Diamonds. Am I correct? If I'm incorrect, please correct me. But from my understanding, pardon me.
Heather Johnson is Crown Diamond.
Heather. Okay. So there are 3 Crown Diamonds in the company, and average after 6 month income is $80,000 per month. And so they're obviously this is not something that happens in 3.5 years in other companies, is what I'm getting at. So, but what's really amazing about this is that the level right below this is a diamond, and average 6 month income is $20,000. And what's funny is that there are a lot of people at the diamond level who also haven't had network marketing experience, who've only been in a year and a half. And so I just want to talk a little bit about the business, because I know a lot of people who are watching this, and I know right now we have over 800 and something people live watching. I know.
Wow.
Oh, you're looking gorgeous, girl. And
I'm nervous. I'm not used to talking.
I meant 80 people, and so they aspire to get to this spot. So I know you mentioned that you just led by the product, but I want you guys to talk a little bit about what some steps that they can take. Give them your best tips, your best piece of advice, because what I love about these chat sessions is that everyone doesn't get a chance to talk to you guys. They don't get an opportunity to brainstorm with you, and they don't have an opportunity to ask you these types of questions. Like if I was talking to you and say, well, Jackie, I wanna be at the Crown Diamond, and I'm willing to devote the next year to do it. And so what types of steps would you give me? And I know that's just a very broad question, but what would you tell someone who says, I want to take the next 12 to 15 months and totally commit to my business in order to become a Crown Diamond? What advice would you give them, or what kind of steps? And I know that's kind of putting you on the spot, so just start talking, and whatever comes up.
No, I got it already.
Oh, go girl.
Well, there's several different ways. I mean, there's more than one way to skin this cat, but my experience has been with Facebook, because that's where I just started sharing it, and it just took off. I tried blogging, I tried other things, but then when business took off, I had no time to do anything else. But the thing that I tell people, the number one thing is brand yourself. Attraction market, you've got to attract people to you, and you're not going to attract people to you by having a bottle of Skinny Fiber as your profile photo, or the cover photo on your Facebook that says Skinny Body Care. People run from someone who's selling them something. What you want to do is you want to focus on building trust, making connections, and the thing that is really important these days with the way Facebook has hidden you from your followers is you want to unfollow as many people as you can that have seen you for these past few months. I mean, you're still their friend, but just unfollow them and start. Your newsfeed will put new eyeballs in there, and comment and make interaction. That is the key to what we've done. Is we've interacted with as many people as we can, not talking to them about Skinny Fiber so much as just talking to them and making a friendship. Relationships are great, but real friendships, that's key when it comes to what we've done. And you want to make sure that you're be transparent, let people know. The one thing I always tell people, this has done so much for me because I was able to open up about the suicide of my husband. I was able to, in my private closed support group, I was able to talk about that. I had so many people private message me and say, I went through that same thing, or I've been depressed and had been suicidal. You know, just you reach out to people. You don't approach people with a product or a business. You attract people to you and let them see what you're doing on your Facebook wall. You don't have to just come right out and say, hey, buy Skinny Fiber. No. They become your friend, and they follow you, and they see that you are a trustworthy human being, and they see that you've got this product, and they see how excited you are about this product, and they're eventually going to ask you. And that's, I think, just be public. Make sure your Facebook is public. And when you go out into the public, just make sure that you have a positive attitude. Say hi to people. You don't have to go up to them with a bottle of Skinny Fiber. Just in conversations, I'm more open now out in the public. When somebody's asking me, you know, how are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm doing great. I feel wonderful. I'm down 3 sizes now. Really? How? You know. Or when people would ask me after I got fired from my job, so where do you work now? Oh, I work on Facebook. And they would laugh, you know, you work on Facebook, or I work for Mark Zuckerberg, or whatever his name is, and Zuckerberg, the Facebook guy. And that it opened conversation. And the more interest you show in other people, the more they're going to tell you about themselves. And that way you can see, like, in a conversation, you're talking to someone, and they start saying, I haven't been feeling good. You know, I've been told I'm pre-diabetic. Oh, really? Well, you know, you could just open a conversation anyway. And, you know, so just share your life, share your excitement, and let people know that it's not something that's here today and gone tomorrow.
Yeah. You know, no, you're fine. I think that's like the greatest point. And I think it's something that I think is consistent between people like yourself, Sue, Courtney, who haven't had experience in this industry, but 6-7 figures a year, and it's that you haven't tried to really be anyone other than yourselves, and that's, I always talk about being authentic, but you guys have taken it to a different level. Courtney, I think Courtney's just the cutest thing, and when she goes, I mean, you know, I think she has her own personality, and she attracts people to her because she's not trying to be anyone, just
no. And she shares everything that she does. These people go to her wall because she is sharing everything. Like, she was at my house, and she just took a picture of I think it was my float out in my pool, and just the picture, she's like, this is what I'm going to lay in today. You know, nothing big, you know, just things that she does throughout the day, and people want to know what she's doing. And if you want to attract people to you, you don't want to push them away. So if you're pushing a product or pushing a business, you're going to push a lot of those people away. Now, we all have different types of audiences on Facebook, too. If I had come from a networking background, I would have a load of networkers who are looking for a good opportunity. So, you know, that's where the balance between me and Tim are. Tim knows networking inside and out. I don't. I know how being real and sharing of your triumphs and your tragedies, and just listening and being a real person attracts people to you. And he has people looking for an opportunity. We have a product and an opportunity. We need to brand ourselves and basically sell ourselves, so we have people to share the opportunity and the product with. So together, I think it's like a perfect blend. I think together both of us can, you know, 2 different sides to it. We've done it 2 different ways, but we've both done it. There's no wrong way. I couldn't do it Tim's way. I mean, I couldn't. I proved that. I stunk. I didn't have people who were interested in network marketing. So I took what I know, and that's really important. You do what you can do with what you have. And that's all you can do. You can't fake being a marketer if you don't know what a marketer is.
Yeah, and that's really the key. You know, one of the things that I've seen, because I've been doing online marketing for 8 years, and when I got into network marketing, I tried to be, you'll hear me say network marketing. When I say network marketing, I mean network marketing, MLM, because I still don't know what the heck it all is. At the end of the day, I know that I like helping people and that I get paid money to do it. So when you hear me intermix it, because someone will correct me, don't send me any messages and don't post on the page because I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. I know it pays and I know that I help people, so please don't correct me. But so when I got into it, I was trying to be like someone like Tim. And so I failed miserably. And for the first few months, I didn't make any money. I mean, like, really didn't make any money because I didn't have any clue what I was doing. I was in a company that I'm not going to name, but I was following my sponsor who had been in the industry for a long time, and I was inspired by her, but I didn't have a clue. And in that particular company, their whole model was we don't pick up the phone and we don't talk to people, and it was pretty accurate. They didn't, including the people they signed up. And so I had no clue what was going on. And so after a couple months, I left that company and started doing something else. I just kind of said, you know what, I'm just going to just start doing me. I mean, at that point, I had nothing to lose. I wasn't making any money, so I figured, why not? And that's what I started doing. I stopped trying to be the person I thought people wanted to see, which was who I had been in coaching, you know, quiet, kind of reserved. And I just said, you know what, I've got nothing to lose now. I'm broke. I'm going to go for broke. And the craziest thing is I sent out this rant email where I was like saying some really crazy stuff, and people responded back and they were like, yeah. And I was like, really? Because that's how I really was behind the scenes. I was like, you know, what y'all see on the Hangouts, like talking smack and just saying whatever comes out my mouth. And I was like, people like this. I was like, maybe I can get paid to do this. And so I started trying it out a little bit more, and I was like, people actually like me this way. And next thing I know, I just started marketing that way, and lo and behold, things started growing for me. And so when people would always ask me, what's your one secret? I say, be yourself. And they go, no, really? I say, yeah, really. I say, there's no magic or anything. I just talk to people and I treat them the way I want to be treated, and I be myself. I said, it's other people who lie and do everything else and mislead that you don't want to be like. You want to just be yourself and learn as much as you can about your company and your business. So that's why I'm like laughing, because I totally agree. It's just no one usually will tell you that, and that's really what they call the secret sauce. So
yeah, you can't. People see through you when you're not yourself. I mean, you can't.
It's hard to do it too. I mean, to
if you're faking it.
Yeah, well,
if you're faking it, you're gonna forget how to be. You know.
Well, for me, it was being reserved. It wasn't, you know, I wasn't lying, but I was just trying to be reserved and not, you know, just tell people when they were getting on my nerves to just say, look, go somewhere with that. Now I freely say, look, go somewhere with that. No one's got time for that. And that's just like so free. So, and I get paid to do it. Who would have known? So.
And you have to be you. You have to find like what your strengths are, and you have to build on those strengths. And not everybody's going to connect with me. I mean, Judy and I are totally different in the way we interact with people. And some people don't connect with me at all, but they connect with Judy. She's very blunt and to the point. No boo-boo sauce, no sugarcoating. Me, I'm like all sugar-coated. Everything is beautiful. Just smile, be happy, and everything is going to be okay. Not everybody wants that. Some people do, some people don't. Some people connect with Judy. So not everybody you talk to is going to connect to you, but that's okay. There's more people out there, you know. So don't like one of the things that I had to learn is you don't get hung up on the ones who say no, because if you do that, you're wasting the time. There's so many people waiting ahead who want what you have, and they're going to take what you got. So don't get hung up on the no's. It takes a lot of no's to get to the yeses.
Yeah, agreed. And they're not meant for you. The people who are attracted to you are the ones who are meant for you.
And they're the ones who come to you.
Yeah. Agreed. And Tim, you're not that type of guy who tells people to kick rocks or anything, are you?
Absolutely. Yes.
Not you, Tim. Well, so give someone, you have a different way, a different approach, of course, than Jackie. I actually think you do attraction marketing yourself. So I think that you do attraction marketing, but you are a networker because that's been your business for so many years. But so how would you tell someone who's just getting into the business, what advice would you give them to build? What would you tell them? They saying, okay, I want to be at Crown Diamond and I'm going to spend the next 12 to 15 months. And I know the beginning of this question, but I'm going to let you say it. But I'm going to spend the next 12 to 15 months, and I want to dedicate myself. What advice would you give them to starting their getting off of this tonight? What are they going to go do?
Well, the first thing you have to do is be honest with yourself. And what has always worked for me, always, is it's not about me being blunt. It's about me being firm. And I believe in what I say. I don't just say things. When I say SBC for life, I truly mean that in my heart, SBC for life. We never know what's going to happen in the world, what change is going to be made. I mean, there's some in business. Business is business. Things happen. But as long as this company stays ethical, keeps sending out that awesome product on time, keeps paying the checks on time, why in the world would I look at something else? You know, a lot of people say, I'm going to do this, you just said it, 12 to 15 months. You know, that sounds great, but really, I mean, how many times have we heard that? And they haven't made that commitment. And you have to be committed, and I'm going to prove it to you in a minute. Second thing is you have to be totally honest with people. Just be totally honest. And you say I do attraction marketing. Yeah, I attract a lot of networkers, but I don't attract them because they want to join my business. I attract them because they want to recruit me. Or they like nuggets and things I post and want to duplicate me and learn from me because I got a lot of stuff floating out there. I can see where people do that, and I don't have a problem with it. But it's the longevity. People know that Tim's not going anywhere. They know it. I mean, the only people that try to recruit me are probably new to my list, new to me on Facebook, and do something crazy. But people know I'm not going anywhere. They know certain comp plans I will never work or get behind. They know I will never stand up for a scam or scheme. I've watched this industry. I see some stuff out there now that's just disgusting. But the industry goes through that every single year. And I'll tell you, you guys think I get these marketers, as Jackie says, these networkers. You know, really what those people are people starving to death in some company they're in. They come off as they're rocking and rolling, but they're not. There are very few top-notch people in this industry. And Ben will tell you in a minute, we have more people earning more money in this company across the board than a lot of those big companies that you hear out there where you think these people are making goo gobs of money. I mean, there was a company recently that's out now. They do a shake, and I've watched all of their leadership leave in droves over the last year. And it didn't make sense to me when I would see pictures of these guys literally on stage with $200,000 checks and see testimonies of people making, you know, $100,000, $200,000 a month. Come to find out, when they left and started cutting videos, that was all hype and a lie. You know, I was watching, I mean, people, I don't want to call them names, but I'm talking top of the comp plan. Big name in the industry. Finally admits I was only making $80,000 a month. I mean, with an organization 10 times the size of Jackie's. So the truth always comes out on the back end. And the key people out there that you may want to call them whales in the industry, you aren't going to get those people. Don't even go after those people. When they'll find skinny body care. Trust me, if they're looking. You're not going to get them. And I can prove that when I said you got to be in for the long haul. Some of you quit too early. And you'll never attract that when you're not dealing with you. Y'all see, in the last 3 months, we've had all of these marketers coming in. And everybody's like, well, where are they coming from? Well, quite honestly, they came from, I invited James down. They were having this thing called a Network Marketing Association, some whatever it was. Well, all of these networkers came for training and stuff. And I was bored out of my mind. The place, I mean, it was packed full of network marketers, but most of them were from that same candy factory. I was bored out of my mind. I thought the presentations were boring. Everybody's in there trying to sell something to them. So I went outside and sat in the bar area, just out there cracking jokes and talking about people, to be honest. there was this guy there with this New York accent who seemed, he was funny, and he had me laughing. So all of a sudden, we started cracking jokes and talking noise to each other, and we became friends, and we literally sat out there for about 3 days. Each day we went, we'd hook up, wouldn't go in the event, was just out there talking noise. And we ended up exchanging, we meeting each other on Facebook. And for a year, I never pitched this guy, I never sent him a link, never even cared. He never pitched me on what he was working. I mean, the guy's a millionaire too in the industry. And it just so happened one day, a few months ago, I reached out to him and I said, John, I didn't know you did traffic. I saw something he had posted, a funnel system or something. I said, I didn't know you generate traffic. And I'm always looking for traffic, even though I trust nobody, because most traffic is garbage. But because of our system, we already have the funnel basically, capture page, free tour, all the follow-up, that's a funnel. But I wanted traffic. If you maybe could send people interested in the home-based business to my site. And he said, what are you talking about? I said, I want to get people sent to my site. He said, let me see what you got. Send me over your funnel. So I just sent him my capture page. That was it. And I noticed he took a free tour, and a couple hours later, I saw a sign up for a gold pack with his name on it. I'm like, whoa, what happened? And next thing you know, that night, I'm on a conference call with 3 of his top guys in the industry. I mean, major people. And one of them was Pete Delmonico, as a matter of fact. And the rest is history, but it came from the relationship. That's another thing. You got to build relationships. When you get to these events and these conventions and conferences, or you're out in public, get to know people. Talk to people. I know Jackie knows a lot about me. I know a lot about her personal life outside of just networking as a friend, if that makes sense. A lot of you guys, Pam, I came to Atlanta, met you. We've broken bread together. It's building those relationships. That's what matters. Because when you tie people into that culture and that same mission, people won't quit. What happens is people getting this, they think it's fast money, and they give up on themselves too quick, and they aren't quitting you. They aren't quitting the company. If they don't stay in this thing a year, they're quitting themselves. So what I would say to you, if you want to be a Royal Crown Diamond, this is how you do it. Just like I told, there's a tell you story anytime. What I tell a new distributor is go out and sponsor 10 customers or members and then get back to me and I'll show you how to do it. And it's really that simple. There's no secret technique. There's nothing I could sit here on this hangout and teach you. There's no magic foo-foo dust. There's no magic wand. I remember the day, as a matter of fact, when I talk about relationships, guess who got an email when they got fired from their job at Verizon? Jackie. I'll never forget it. Jackie sent me an email and said, Tim, I'm done. Told me straight up, I just got fired. And she said, but I'm not going to really work the business. I'm going to build a weight loss support group. I'm just going to help people with their weight. I swear. And that's how she took off. She had been in the company 4.5, 5 months, hadn't done a thing. And the rest is history. And you never know, I'll say that to say, you never know who's going to do what. Stop falling for people telling you that I'm going to do this. As soon as they get in, I'm going to do this. I'm going to tear this up. You never, ever know. And people are watching. Man, I just talked to a young lady the other night on Jackie's team. I know the company she came from. She's a beast. She's tearing it up. She's only been in probably a week. And I was like, Jackie, you got a beast on your team. I know the history over there where she's come from, and she's putting them in. But what if Jackie had quit? What if she had never shared this? And the gentleman she's under is someone from her little hometown in Ohio, I believe. Little old small town, probably about that big. But it's the relationships. And you have to stay with it, and you have to be consistent, and you have to keep saying the same thing over and over. And just like Jackie said, I'm done. People aren't going to buy. You start posting about this weight loss thing, okay? How much weight loss stuff is out there? But when you keep putting it out there, people say, do I post too much? No, keep posting. But when they see it over and over and over, and I always relate it to my stupid butt, I watch infomercials late at night sometimes because I'm up all night, Pam, as you know. I'm up all night. And I would see this stupid thing with this guy pulling a bowling ball up through a vacuum, an Org vacuum cleaner. No intentions on buying a vacuum cleaner, but I saw that commercial over and over and over and over. Guess what I ended up buying? An Org vacuum cleaner. because I saw it over and over. It built credibility. I then started to believe it. Then when the time came that I admitted I needed a new vacuum cleaner, I bought the Orc. Only $500 when I could have gone right down to Walmart for about $149 and got something they could also pull a bowling ball for all I knew. So you got to be consistent. You got to stay with it. And you can't say I'm going to be here in the next 12 to 15 months. I want to be a crown diamond. Go bronze, then help your people. Go silver, go gold, and just walk it up. Follow the pay plan. And don't become dependent on an upline. What I mean by that is don't look for the foo-foo dust, guys. We do the conference calls. Get your people on the calls. That's why we do them. I sometimes say to Jack, I say, you know, we do too much training in this company. I've been in this industry. I've never seen a company where you have a Facebook support group. You can go up there to files. There's so much information. Jackie's training is in those files. It's all right there, but you have to want it. You have to seek for the information and use the information and take advantage of it. I watch people, they go through boot camp and they still don't have their picture on Facebook. I'm like, really? You went through the training? You know, people don't buy from this water bottle. So this is my profile picture. Who's going to buy from that? Who's going to trust this water bottle? Facebook. Put your face on Facebook. Little things like that happen. And stay consistent. I cannot stress that enough, Pam. You have to stay with it and give yourself time to develop. It's not a quick rush. Yes, some people can do it faster than others, but you don't know what they went through. Yes, I did it fast. But you weren't there 23 years ago when I was horrible in this industry. You weren't there when I joined this company and I was flat broke. You know, you weren't there. You weren't there trying to raise these girls you can hear yelling in the background and trying to build this business sitting on this couch 23, 24 hours, not taking showers for 2 and 3 days. Yeah, I admit it. Because I was hungry. I had no choice. It was either do this and get it done or go get a job. Well, job's not an option for me. I'm going to do this, and I committed. And through the grace of God, I've met awesome people like each and every one of you, but it's up to us collectively that could go out here and change the world with this company. I know it. I feel it. In the next 3 months, September, October, November, guys, the goal is in your hands. And we're already seeing the increase right now. And we knew it was going to happen. It's that sales cycle that Jackie was talking about. It happens. We know it. And that's why, as you're going through it, you know, put back, save, don't get a big check and go treating yourself too much. Always treat yourself, but give yourself time to develop and grow. Ben wants this to be the last company you ever have to work, that you can retire from. He doesn't just say that. I've gotten to know him personally. No, he means it, not only for us, but for himself. So I'll turn it back to you, Pam. What you laughing at, Jackie?
The visitor I have here keeps talking, and I keep going shh, shh, shh. And he heard Dayla in the background. He goes, "See?" I said, "But she's 5."
Well, but you know what? I'll say this: the noise in the background, everything that's going on, it's your life, it's your reality, and we work from home, and as professional as we want to try and make it, reality is, I think, Jackie, that's what makes what we do so powerful, because we do work from home, and when you work from home, you have guests come over, and when you work from home, you have, you know, your kids jump off the couch, and you know, that's really what happens when you work from home. I mean, I worked in a professional office for years, and in a professional environment, none of that stuff happens. But who wants to do all that? I used to be in dresses and heels, and it was boring. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you real quickly. For years, I told people that up until recently, I'm 5'4", and you guys have met me in person. You know I'm kind of short. But for years, I thought I was 5'7", and I had it on all my medical records and everything, because in my head, I had convinced myself I was 5'7" because I worked in corporate America for so long, and I wore heels every day. And I actually thought I was 5'7", and you could have never told me. And it was one day I was standing next to my daughter-in-law, who's like 5'3½", and I was like just a slight half an inch over her, and I was going, what's going on with this? And then when I went to the doctor and he measured me at 5'4", and I was like, how did that happen? And he had in my record too, and I said, well, I'm 5'7". He goes, no, you're not. It's just because I've been telling people for so long. I mean, I literally just wore heels, dressed up every single day. It was the most miserable thing. When we came to Vegas, it was like the first time I had been in heels in like forever. So being able to work from home, there's my kitchen. See all that stuff? I moved all the stuff off the counter so you guys wouldn't see it. I have my dog. I put him up because he was playing with toys and he's still a puppy. That's the reality. So no one cares, Jackie. You're good. Tell them they could talk. But we're going to actually...
I'm afraid of what they might say. My husband and his friend.
Oh, they're fine. But you know, the thing about these is that we want them always to be so casual because they think that you're not real people. They think that, oh, Jackie's someone, you know, she's different from us.
This is the visitor.
Hi, visitor.
Hi, Maria.
And they think you're not real people and you don't have a real life. And I think that they get an opportunity to see you at home doing what you do and living life.
Yes, I'm probably more real than most people are. I stay in my pajamas most of the day. I mean, yeah, and I love it. I mean, I love doing what I do, and that's my focus. It's not how I look. I mean, I got a shower and did my hair for this. I thought that would be a good idea. One of these days, I'll just do it with my ponytail and my pajamas on.
Oh, well, you know what? I will be in makeup, so I might join you in the pajamas, but
We need to do a pajama hangout.
Yeah, now that we can do. That would be fun. Tim, you down? Tim just shaking his head.
Long johns on. His pretty pajamas.
And look, the Millionaire chat in pajamas.
Yeah.
No, but you know, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you just opening your heart. I appreciate you guys just sharing the information. For one, I love you guys. I just think you guys are like the bomb. You guys are just so amazing because you give back so much to the company, everyone who's listening, and you show people what's possible. And that's what I love so much about this company. I always tell people that whoever will listen to me, I said it's so different because I said it's like a family. The people care. I remember when I got to Vegas, you gave me a hug, and it just, you know, it's just like different type of people, you know, just really different type of people. And I remember my sister said, "Is this normal?" I said, "No, it's not." I said, "It's not normal." But I think what makes it really cool is that you guys don't know that other people don't act like that either, and so you guys do what you feel is in your heart. So you have a lot of people who haven't been, you know, tainted by the industry who just want to help people. And that's kind of the theme of this business, is that people who are in skinny body care just want to help other people. They want to help people succeed in weight loss, and they want to help them succeed financially. So folks, you've got to hear from two of the top income earners in the business. Your Millionaire chat with Mr. Tim Miller and Miss Jackie Stewart. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for being so amazing, so awesome, for sharing everything. I know it's late at night. Go hang out with your family and your friends, and we'll schedule another one of these another time. Thank you guys for watching, and take care and have a great evening.
Thank you.
All right.